This video is sponsored by the EA Creator Network on an early access build of the game, so everything you see is subject to change. Shout out to EA for letting me capture this footage for you guys. Madden 24's AI QBs will play more like their human counterparts. So Mahomes will throw in type windows, Josh Allen will throw the ball deep, and Kirk Cousins is more likely to check down. You'll now have the ability to completely restructure your players' contracts in franchise mode. And the Ultimate Team Competitive Pass contains a reward that only 1,000 people can get per season, and you can actually sell it on the market. These three things, along with 97 more new features in Madden 24, I'm going to tell you about in today's video, and we're trying to get it done in just 10 minutes. So that's a new feature every 16 seconds or so, or if I keep this intro going, probably 50. Let's start off with gameplay and general improvements because there's a long list of them here. Rat catching works far better this year than in past years, and your receivers actually won't lose momentum. And speaking of momentum, player weight and momentum plays a much bigger role in tackling, so some random DB can't hit stick Derrick Henry. We also have new pass animations like a dive throw, a sidearm, a no look, a jump throw. There's 4 newly updated player models, including lean, standard, muscular, and heavy, which more accurately affect player movement and interactions with brand new Sapien technology. Also applies to the crowd, to refs, coaches, people on the sideline, basically anyone you see in that. We have the reintroduction of refs on the field, which can also be female. Also, high balls aren't quite as effective. The game contains 500 brand new plays spread across 70 brand new formations. Post-play interactions and animations make the game feel more alive. Speaking of new animations, there's hundreds of new and realistic animations for things such as fumble recoveries and scoop and scores. You have crowded pile-ups, scoop and score animations, and even players reaching for the ball from the ground. But this means nothing if we don't talk about blocking, which it's good that the blocking AI is much smarter, as AI blockers will pick a target and go after them instead of reacting to your runner's movement. We also have a smarter AI that will learn from play to play, so repeated run or pass plays are way less effective. This does vary by difficulty though, so all Madden difficulty, they'll learn your plays much quicker than if you play on rookie. And when they're done setting that edge and they go to tackle you, they'll have 1,700 new or improved tackle animations to choose from. We're also getting crossplay this year. It's coming to Ultimate Team head-to-head, Superstar KO, and Superstar Showdown. You can now branch to swats, catch tackles, and hit sticks in all contested catch situations, not just the jumping catches like in years past. Which is nice because there's new animations to complement and make interactions between receivers and defenders look and feel way more authentic on curl routes, slants, and streaks. The game also has a ton of weight-based outcomes and timings. So smaller defenders will now take out the legs of bigger ball carriers, big man wrap tackles that wrap and drive their ball carrier back, and all new scoop tackles are high-impact form tackles that pick the ball carrier off the ground. Offensive players can now chip block. And speaking of blocking, blockers can now join in on gang tackle animations to push piles forward, just like you see on Sunday. But what about when you're not getting tackled and you're trying to catch a ball that's just out of reach? Well, the good news is they did add dive catch animations to target those slightly inaccurate passes. And this is just complementary to the hundreds of brand new catching animations they added this year. The AI blocking system has been rebuilt based on counting defenders in the box and matching up with them, leading to way less exploitative opportunities to glitch the AI. And offensive linemen are even more important now than they ever have been, with highly rated blockers being more likely to throw dominating blocks on smaller defenders, which can hopefully lead to stopping people from running only defensive backs in their linebacker position. But speaking of defensive backs, there's new defensive backs movement types called read steps, which are slower back pedals that allow DBs to evaluate routes and attack short passes. In addition to that, we also have crossover movement that allows defensive backs to move at high speeds to make a play on the ball. And one of my favorite updates, DBs now have to see the ball in order to break on it. No more psychic DBs. We're still not even done with the gameplay additions. We still have franchise, superstar, ultimate team, and competitive features to talk about. There's a new decision-making trait that determines how effectively quarterbacks can use their skill-based passing. And speaking of skill-based passing, there are now 12 possible points a QB will evaluate to make a big play. All quarterbacks have new pathfinding technology, so mobile quarterbacks like Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson feel much more true to their human counterparts. But the quarterback features don't stop there. There's also new AI alert logic, where the computer will audible out of a run play if they see a stacked box, and vice versa. This also affects zone and man coverage repeated play callers. We also have new logic for AI QBs to speed up progressions and throw low on short covered passes. But I thought special teams kind of needed a makeover too, and thankfully they did. We now have new realistic onside kicks with improved ball physics to increase the impact of special teams plays in big moments. In addition to that, we also have new special teams formations. And this is from my experience, QBs are actually able to break, contain, and run outside the pocket this year, unlike Madden 23, but still less often than Madden 22. It seems to be a good balance. Okay, that's the end of gameplay updates, but we still got to go through franchise, and I don't even have a watch on, but I hope we're making time. We've got the return of training camp to franchise mode, which includes 11 new mini games. But outside of that, you've also got 26 playable mini games from the main menu, and those ones play a little bit different. Everyone has the same ratings, so it's balanced regardless of what team you choose. There's now 6 trade slots, which is increased from 3 last year, and you also get to trade 2 years of future draft picks. And there's 50 new draft generators that include generational prospects, 99 club prospects, utility prospects that can play two positions, and injury-prone prospects. And speaking of the draft class, now they'll reflect the jersey number rules in the NFL. Oh, and I almost forgot, fair catches anywhere on kickoffs will now take you to the 25-yard line. But back to franchise, we have 15 new cities for relocation to a total of 34. And this also includes international. Anywhere from Albuquerque, New Mexico, to Buenos Aires, Argentina, Australia, Canada, Omaha, Nebraska, if you so choose, all the way to Japan, Canada, and back home to Virginia. You can now relocate while playing as a coach. You don't just have to be the owner. And you can select the city, team branding, and stadium immediately upon pressing the relocation button. Which even better, you can relocate immediately upon starting a new franchise. And you can relocate again once the next season starts. So yeah, you could literally be in a new city or new country every year of your franchise if you want. Each city can pull from all the name choices regardless of where you're located to, but the Oilers is still exclusive to Houston. There's a new fully integrated 5th year option that's now eligible during the season and not just in the offseason. And all players' contract negotiations can start from week 1 if you want them to. Head coaches, coordinators, and player personnel now have 3 full talent trees that contain new choices. The head coaches and player personnel have offensive and defensive positions, and the coordinators have 12 new trees and 1 guru tree for position-specific options. But even more in depth, we got a ton of new commissioner tools, so there's a lot here. I'm just gonna fly right through them. There's an on-off toggle for depth chart reordering. You can edit draft class strength to very weak, normal, strong, and very strong. You can toggle offense and defensive play cooldowns individually. Fantasy draft has a snake draft option. There's an impact of motivations for free agents that's toggleable. You can toggle the trade difficulty from easy, very easy, hard to very hard. There's a home field advantage toggle, progression and regression sliders based on age, and can even be position based. Free agency negotiations can be set per stage to 1, 3, 5, 10, or even unlimited. And from the main menu, you can now turn the toggle on or off for the draft time. If you're out of town, you can set your co-commissioner to now be able to advance the draft. And the staff talent cost modifier has a toggle too, from slowest, slower, slow, normal, and fast. So you decide how fast you want coaches earning staff talent modifier points. We still have 3 modes that we need to talk about. Again, I just hope we're on time. Starting with Superstar, we've got Return of the Superstar mode, replacing Face of the Franchise, which is a career-driven mode with NFL football as its core. And it comes with a Combine mode, the first thing you play in Superstar. The different drills that you can run are a 40-yard dash, bench press, broad jump, shuttle drill, and you'll do a typical workout trainer with position-based drills. There's also a new player grading system, which has letter grading and gives feedback based on in-game action. Your draft stock will then be based on your Combine and player grading system. We have new tiered abilities that go from bronze to silver to gold, and it even features a new Madden cast show. Character customization is preset to affect ratings based on physical characteristics, so you can be tall, but you're going to be slower. You can be small, but you're likely to be faster. You decide. Your archetype build will affect how well top performance can be in your Combine challenges. So if you're super tall and heavy, chances are you're not going to run the shuttle very well. Each playable position can have its own customizable avatar. You can have several different superstars on one account. The Combine also features an interview process with timed football-themed trivia questions that will further dial in your actual draft position. All you guys that think you're football experts, this one's probably for you. There's an override setting in the league set up for your draft position, so if you decide to override it because you want to go to your favorite team, you have the option to do that. They've also implemented a Superstar mission system, which contains on-field stat-based missions, career milestones, team win-loss objectives, and even brand missions for Nike, Jordan, and Adidas. And we've got a social media reactions feed. You can participate in off-the-field side activities like community events, training, rest and recovery, and mini games. But that's only one half of Superstar, because you also have Superstar Showdown. And the Superstar Showdown Arena is a new 3v3 twist on gameplay that has no play call screen, no first downs, and a 1st to 21 scoring format. There's new unlockable gear to earn through playing all Superstar modes, and each position has its own unique avatar and progression path. You can become a 2-way player and make upgrades to non-specific ratings through playing Superstar Showdown, but we also got custom emotes and celebration animations. The Ultimate Team news is limited, but there are still some new features you guys are going to want to hear about. We've got an item catalog, which you can click on a player and view all possible methods to obtain that player. It shows sets, packs, auctionable, challenges, field passes, etc. It's really catered toward the person who's like, hey, I want that card, and I don't see it in the auction house. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. There's a live event hub to assist new players in an understanding of MUT, its programs, and what cards can do what. There's a new tutorial system for easier onboarding of new players to MUT. And we have 2 competitive pass exclusive player items with a limited and a base version. Remember I told you about the limited one in the intro? Well, there's also a base version that everyone can still get. And lastly, competitive will feature a $1.7 million prize pool spread across 6 events starting in August and ending January 10th. And if you're like me and you like watching these events but maybe not playing in them, all of the finals will be played live in person. We're pumping out a ton of Madden 24 content. Speaking of which, I gold medaled every single of the 26 mini games in Madden 24 already. You want to check that video out. It's sick.